I think I just sort of realized how karma actually works. So, karma from our past lives determines our birth in this life, our parents, our birth, our astrology, what our chart looks like. It controls what we look like. It controls so many things. And so that's already sort of setting the tone for the life you're going to live and also what you're going to experience in that life to try to balance the karmic scales from what we did in a past life. And while you're living this life, as you begin to work off some of that karma, a lot of which plays itself out in childhood, which is why so many people have really challenging childhoods or have messed up things happen in childhood, and it's often karmic. And so that's playing itself out. And as you're burning off that karma, then things get eventually lighten up a bit. And you can get to the point where you've burned off, you've worked out all your karma, and you're not necessarily generating more um in like a negative way. You're not generating like more negative karma, which is mostly what I'm talking about. But even good karma you're generating, that eventually runs out too. You're generating good and bad karma. But as you go through life, you end up doing things. You may not even necessarily realize that you're doing things to generate negative karma for yourself that you will sometimes end up having to experience or work off within the same lifetime. And so you go through these cycles and spells of like good times, high times, and then low times, and things just nothing seeming to work out. And then good times, you just seem lucky and everything just happens to work out for you. And it's just like, whoa, this is great. I'm really on track in life. I figured it out. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's like you get hit with a Mack truck, and then it's like nothing's working out. You can't figure anything out. You're losing all your friends. You you lose your job. You and this can happen on an individual level, and this can happen on a collective level too. So, because people with similar karmas tend to be attracted to each other and tend to congregate with each other. So, it can happen collectively too. So, but it just made me realize that it really is, it's just a cycle. And really, the only solution to this is to exit the cycle, to exit the karmic cycle, to become how do I want to say? To become Krishna conscious, to become Krishna conscious and raise your vibration to the level in which you're actually engaging with God on God's frequency, which is not the material frequency. It's not the material world where we are here. You're engaging with God and on the transcendental level, which is outside of karma. And so if you're able to move your activities to that transcendental frequency, and by what that means is you're in communication with God and you are following God's transcendental laws. And so as a result, then you are slowly working off the rest of your karma and beginning to operate on the transcendental plane. And I say this not to say that I'm there, because I'm not. There are probably less than point I could probably count on my hands the amount of people on the planet that are at that level. And yeah, there's not a lot of them. It is incredibly difficult to become a pure God conscious being. It is so rare. And if there's someone and these beings, like it's funny because I think about the term perfectionist, right? Um like we're like, oh, I'm so a perfectionist. I just want to be perfect. I just want everything to be right. No, like there are literally perfect beings. And over the course of many lifetimes of working and putting in the effort and due diligence and sincerity to be a Krishna conscious being, all of us have the opportunity to in one lifetime um become a perfected being. But it takes lifetimes of work, of doing God's will to reach that point. And like I said, right? Most people are not doing that. And so it's very few people that are actually perfected, that are actually like purely at that level and don't and are not operating on the material frequencies like we are. But we're not there yet, of course. But all of that to say, the karma is a good thing. The karma is helping you exit the cycle. Its job is to balance the scales. If it never balanced the scales, then you would just be here forever. You would just keep piling on so much negative karma, so much good karma. And at a certain point, it just like gets out of whack. Like it just things would not be normal. And it would also feel like there was no sort of sense of like justice or or it would just feel like there was no sense of like justice in the world. Because based on everything that we do, you know, karma, which is created by God, God balances the scales. So that's why we don't necessarily have to worry about, oh, this person did this to me. Oh, she said that. Oh, he did that. They did me wrong. Like, I need to get back at them. No, don't do that. You are then going to be sharing the karma with that person if you try and go after them. No, God will take care of it. And God will handle it better than we ever could. And if you've ever gone through something God awful in your life, if you've ever gone through something so traumatic, so messed up, like things that you probably wouldn't even want to tell anyone, that was God balancing the scales on you. And you should be grateful for that. So whenever you feel like this is too much, this is too hard, please, please just pray. Pray and know that you're burning off some karma. And once you get that burned off, then you're done with that. You're done with that. And you can just be like, the smoke will clear. Don't worry about, oh, it's going to be like this forever. It won't. It won't be like that forever. Just remind yourself, remember that it's all karmic and it'll be done soon. It'll be done soon. It'll be done once what you did. Oh, how am I saying this? You get the point. You get the point. Oh, but this has been on my mind a lot lately, and I've been really trying to understand karmic, and I can't take credit for any of this. I give all credit to my gurus. I give all credit to um all of the acharyas in our line. I give all credit, all glories to the Lord and the ancient Vedic texts in which he speaks and outlines his laws. So I hope this helps. If you something came up or something I said that didn't make sense, then please comment and let me know. If you want to share your own experience of this, I would love to hear what you have to say. So please either reply or leave a comment or something like that, because especially with what's going on now, the world is getting really strange. It feels like there's weird things happening, and it is a lot of weird and strange stuff compared to like what's been happening before, or at least what we've been made aware of, but it's really not. When you read the ancient Vedic texts, which outline the things that happened thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of years ago, ages ago, some of the same crazy stuff was happening. There were egotistical people back then trying to take over the world, just like there are now. And what gives me so much peace at night is knowing that the Lord still reigns supreme. No one can transcend the Lord, and the Lord always brings those demons down and and protects his devotees. So there's never ever a reason to worry.